Apparently I'm live again. And here I am. I'm in my quigdom. I'm relaxing. I have had an interesting weekend so far. I've been making videos and tasting samples from the Secret Spirits um, sixth annual whiskey advent calendar, or Scotch whiskey advent calendar. And it's been fun. I'm going to pour myself a dram before I start unboxing or unpackaging anything. There's Santa Cruzan saying hello. Hello, Santa Cruzan. Nice to have you with us. I wonder how many other people will be coming on since I'm kind of late. It's like 9:17 on the West Coast, and we've got 3 people watching already. We might get a few people from Europe starting early. The one named Nestor says, "Any Raptors in here? Booze time." I don't know about Raptors, but I got a 41-year-old Canadian Club Chronicles, which is quite a nice whiskey. And Barry Bletnick says, "Can we get a PH and J to the chat? What is PB and J? I don't even know." I'm not really the best at abbreviations, and where you got letters standing for. K9 Nick is here saying hello, Quiggy. Hi, Nick. Good to have you with us today, or tonight. I figured I would get somebody who's earlier in the day on the other side of the world. And Santa Cruzan saying, new people, Quig. Yeah, I guess we got some new people. I know K9 Nick, we go back a ways. He actually does the burp food Quig part on my outro. And Barry, I don't know Barry. And the one named Nestor, I don't know him either. But we'll see how things go tonight. New names. Okay. And there's K9 Nick says, "Don't drive anymore. Early retirement, rheumatoid." Oh, that's nice. I'm looking forward to the day when I don't drive anymore. Well, no, I'll still be driving, but not professionally. My plan is, if you don't know it yet, when I retire, a short 9 years from now, if I live so long, I will get myself a little motorhome and I'll just go wherever I want. I won't have an apartment anymore. I won't have a job anymore. I will just travel a little bit slowly, gradually, whatever I can afford to travel. That's what I will do. I would like to spend winters in Mexico and summers in the Yukon. And yeah. And Jason Coates is here too, saying hi, Quig. Hi, Jason. Nice to have you with us. And we've also got pain and drugs, too risky. Yeah, I understand. JC, long time no see. Says Santa Cruzan. And Jason says, hey, man, no doubt. Yeah. Been a long time since I've seen a lot of people. And pain and drugs, it's a lifestyle. Don't judge. No, I don't judge. No. Been chatting to you on and off for 9 years. That's about right. Yeah, it's been a while. 9 years since 2010. Yeah, that's about right. I think you found me through the whiskey, not the whiskey, but the taxi vlogs, or I found you doing taxi videos or something like that off and on, which is great. Oh, this is good. It takes a little while to open up because it is 41 years old, but it's good stuff. Yeah, taxi vlogs. There you go. And Barry's saying, like your Canadian Mist review, it's one of my family members' favorites. I had never had Canadian Mist before because you can't get it in Canada, and that's the ironic thing. So I have the opposite end of the spectrum here. It's the Canadian Club 41. And there's a 42-year-old too, but I haven't bought it yet. I'm sure it will linger on the shelves because This one was released in 2018 in the fall, and I got it in 2019 in end of January, I think. And there's still some of this on the shelf from over a year ago. It is an expensive bottle, so there you go. Canadian Mist review, yeah. I had a little fun with that. I couldn't believe how it wasn't good. Because usually lower shelf Canadian whiskey is actually, it can be quite good. Things like Alberta Premium and things like 40 Creek Barrel Select and 40 Creek Copper Pot. They're excellent whiskeys, and they're not too expensive. And then there's things like Potters, and there's a Canadian Club. I'm thinking Crown Royal. That can be all right too, but not the very basic one. You got to go a step or two up. Like there's a 12-year-old, and there's one called is it Select, or they have these names? They're all the same. Reserve, Crown Royal Reserve. That's actually quite nice. Canadian corn whiskey with a little bit of what have they added to this? I think they put a little bit of sherry in it. It's opening up now. I'm getting a bit of corn husks because it's corn whiskey after all. But aged in ex-rye barrels for 41 years. It had the barrels had rye in them for 10 years. And those were dumped, and when they were dumped, they put corn in there. And let's see. This message is held for review. Oh. Yeah, I'll show that. Why not? And Nick says, when you're a fancy booze hound, are you like my missus, only Sauvignon white until you run out of it? But fuck it. I'll drink the old man's red even though I hate the stuff. Well, I drink all kinds of things. Today I drank, today I drank the day number 9 from the Secret Spirits Advent Calendar, but I'm not going to give away what it is yet. I just recorded the video, and it's going up on YouTube now, scheduled to come out 4 a.m. my time. So that's going to be in about, let's see, 6.5 hours from now. Seeing as it's 9:30, 10, 6.5 hours from now, that video will go public. So I was just recording that and putting it up. I had a 20-year-old 90, which is 45% alcohol by volume, from Highwood in Alberta. And now I'm having the 41 just to celebrate a little bit, because it is a time of year to celebrate. I might have something peated next. Who knows? I have a lot of peated whiskey that I haven't opened up yet. Catnap G is here. Just got your message. Thanks for letting me know. I was actually just watching you. Now I'm watching and chatting with you. Very good. There's Jesse Regenauer saying, I rather like Canadian Mist. Had it years ago and occasionally like to taste it. Most of my immediate family all drank Windsor Canadian. Not bad, but not as smooth as Mist. See, the idea is not necessarily to be smooth. Smooth is... In a way, this is smooth, but in a way, it's got a lot of flavors. and all the flavors come out. And this is, what is the percentage on this one? 45%. So this is not that smooth, but it's got a lot of interesting flavors coming out of it. And you can even taste the rye from that was originally in the barrel before the corn whiskey, which is interesting. You can taste the rye from the barrel, and that barrel was emptied in 1977. Incredible. Let's see. Whiskey Whistle says hi. Oh, there's Mark. Yeah, I was just watching your eggnog video while my day number 9 was going up onto YouTube. And now that it's all done, I'm not using all the computer powers to make this video. So I'm making this video, and I do have. Yes, I'm glad that you're here because I do have the package that we had mentioned. I will just cover up the addresses, but I'm going to open this one real soon, so you might enjoy that. And there's Jesse saying, having a slice out of my Infinity Malt Scotch whiskey bottle presently. Fantastic. Those are great. And there's Barry saying, Mist used to have a very nice travel holding kind of bottle, similar to early times. As far as Canadian goes, I had a little luck with a Canadian whiskey called R&R Reserve as well. Oh, yeah. Is it called Rich and Rare? Or is it called, I call it the Rolls Royce of Canadian whiskey. Just because of the 2 R's. And Whiskey Whistle saying, this is a tough month for Quiggy, Scott, and I. Yes. It is a tough month. It's yeah, you got to put out one of these every day. And Catnap says, I will be back in 20 minutes. I have to finish your recent Advent vid, then wash up and I'll be back. Oh, well, by all means, go and do that. What do you think of Jameson's, Andy? Bought a couple of bottles for Christmas. Fantastic. Jameson's is easy drinking. It's not a challenge. It just goes down smooth and easy. Just beware not to drink it too fast because it might creep up on you. And also make sure to stay hydrated. But Jameson's can be very good. There's the regular variety of Jameson's, and then there's the Whiskey Maker series that they put out a couple of years ago. That was really good. Then there's the Cask Mates. I've had a couple of the Cask Mates versions of it. Those are nice too. I had the Stout. Twice I had the Stout. I have a bottle of Cask Mates IPA that I haven't opened yet. And I tried another one in Washington State that was from their local, one of their local craft beer brewing places. What do you call those again? They're not distilleries, but breweries. and that brewery had made some barrels available to Jameson, and Jameson aged or finished their whiskey in the same barrels from the craft beer brewery in Washington State. And so you could get that particular Jameson's in Washington State, which is great. And here we are. Let's see. Hello, Mark, says Santa Cruzan. Whiskey Whistle says hi. And Barry's saying, Rich and Rare. Yeah, that's the one. In Canada, the RR is known as Royal Reserve, believe it or not. But I don't think it's the same whiskey. Yeah, Rich and Rare, that's the one in the States. But in Canada, it's called Royal Reserve, and it has the same 2 R's, looking like a Rolls Royce emblem. And Jason's saying hi to Mark, and K9 Nick says goes great with Guinness. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You can have a Guinness and Jameson Boilermaker. Get the whiskey and chase it down with a beer. I don't drink beer. I don't drink beer anymore. Oh man, this is getting better now that the bottle's been open for a little while. Wow. Oh, my friends, this is truly a treat. I know it's like $310 a bottle, including taxes, but that's the Canadian Club 41-year-old. Marvelous whiskey. I think we've got a few people. We've got 14 people watching now, so I guess it's about time I opened up this package from Mark, who hopefully is still watching. Mark Whiskey Whistle from the center of North America. And this is folded over here. Let's see if we can reverse engineer the package. No, I can't. That's the adhesive they use on these mailers, these Canada Post mailers, is incredibly tough. I will just cut through the end that is folded over and reach right inside to pull out. Oh, this is well packed. Okay, and more bubble wrap. This is the mailer, and more bubble wrap. Okay, and they are wrapped in festive orange napkins. All right, let's get the first one open here. There's Donner Pass Whiskey saying, at work, but will watch as I can. Fantastic. And Whiskey Whistles there saying hi to Jason Coates. And, okay. It's got some writing on it, and it's dark. Okay. Project something. OL 06. Project 06. Okay, this is going to be interesting. It's got no ABV on it. It's got no. Okay, if it's dark, it's a Project Alpha. Oh, Alpha. Okay, I get it now. So this is your own blends. There's a Project Beta. Project Beta says 17 days, 60%. Oh, was this put into one of those casks? One of those special casks where you age your own. So Project Alpha and Project Beta. And is there a Project Gamma? Oh, toilet paper. Nice touch. Very nice touch. And this is another one that's a little darker. This is it's not your writing, it's the darkness. 2 bucket, release 18. Is it bucket or bracket? Oh, 2 casks. 454. 454 bottles. 2 bucket, release 18. Huh. Okay. And 61%. Oh, okay. And we're talking about Project Alpha. Gotta love cast strength, says Santa Cruz. And Whiskey Whistle says, Beta is about the same, 60%, as I haven't tested it yet. Okay. 2 brewers release 18. Oh, did I misread that completely? Two brewers release 18. Okay. I have a release 12 coming up soon. Or have I done that one already? I also have a release 10 that I bought not too long ago. That means it'll be a while until I taste it. Okay, now here is this also two brewers? Let's see. Ah, okay. This one says Mark 1 blend waxy fruit, 47.2% blended malt. Oh, that's going to be fun too. These are going to be lots of fun. And these are all high ABV, so I guess I can put them in the high ABV pile. Nice. Well, we got some more interesting things to try. They're always a blast. I'm going to have to do a regular sample show to showcase these and other samples that I received recently. I've got 11 samples now already. Whiskey Whistle says a single cask, 7 years old and aged in virgin oak. Ah, that's the Mark 1 blend. Waxy fruit. Oh, yeah, it's going to be wonderful. So some two brewers and Project Alpha and Project Beta. Nice. Very nice. Thank you once again, Mark. I appreciate this. It's going to be a lot of fun to try these out. Just like it's a lot of fun to do the Whiskey Advent Calendar, which we've been both having a grand old time with. Oh, wait a minute. Two brewers. Okay. Waxy Fruit is my silver medal winning blend at the Canadian Blending Challenge. Fantastic. Okay. And Shelter Point saying, hello, Quig, happy dramming. Hello, Shelter Point. Nice to have you with us. I'm going to be tasting one of your whiskeys coming up one of these days. Probably in the new year, the video will go public because I'm just having such a my schedule is full with this Advent calendar this month. But yeah, this is good stuff. Happy dramming to you too, Shelter Point Slacheva. Okay. And Whiskey Whistle says the two brewers is the 7-year-old single cask virgin oak. Okay. Got it. Seven-year-old. Okay. Gotcha. Two brewers. Got it. Got it. Two brewers release 18. Yeah, okay, now I understand. I just got confused. And this is the one that you won. Okay, cool. Very cool. And Whiskey Whistle says hi to Shelter Point. Maybe I'll open that Shelter Point tonight on this live. Maybe. And then I'll go back and review it later. Yeah, why don't I do that after this 41-year-old Canadian club? And Shelter Point says hi back. This is fantastic. This is nice. We've got a Canadian whiskey producer and Canadian whiskey video makers, and this is nice. We're having a good little session here. It's a lot of fun. Whiskey Whistle says, currently nursing a bad cold. Yeah, I had that one a couple of weeks ago too, and I still have a little bit of phlegm in my throat, and my voice is still a little bit hoarse, but my sniffer and my taster work fine right now, so that's a good thing. But there was a week or two there where I was glad that I had videos already made to put up while I couldn't produce any because I had this problem, and this the whole cold thing was able to wear itself out before I started tasting the advent calendar, which is perfect timing. Yeah, nursing a cold is no fun. What I did with mine, every time I start to get the sniffle and I start to get some of that post-nasal drip, I just get myself a lot of neocitrin, and I drink that stuff, and it just gets rid of the worst symptoms, and it makes you sweat and feel all warm and comfortable. And bad colds are no fun. There's a Max Grimm. That's a new name too. Looking good, bud. How you doing tonight? I'm doing fine. How about yourself? Hot toddy should do the trick. Yes, exactly, Shelter Point. I concur. I usually do the in one hand I have the neocitrin, and in the other hand I have the cast strength. And that combination of neocitrin and cast strength will sort of get rid of the symptoms and knock you on your ass so you can go to sleep for a while and feel better, hopefully, when you wake up. The cold I had was a persistent one. It lasted about a week and a half, 10 days. And then it kind of hung on a little bit for 2 weeks, which is not, I don't recommend getting a cold if you can help it. But it happens, No, these are great. These are great. I'm going to enjoy these one whole bunch. When it's going to happen might be a little time in the future, but I will. I'm looking forward to them already. I didn't think I was going to be on for very long tonight because I still have a lot of videos to watch. Well, we'll hang on for a little while. I'm gonna open that Shelter Point. I think I've had it since early last year sometime. Let's have a look. Here it is. Oh crap. I hate losing things. Okay, this one here. And that one there, and that one. Okay, that one goes under there. Okay, like so. Here is the bill of sale. Bills of sale going everywhere. Yeah. Me being a klutz. Okay, I got this one here. This is a Shelter Point double. That's going to be interesting to try. I think I'm going to try that right away. And when did I get this? I've had this under my bar waiting patiently since February the 8th of 2019. I'm going to open it tonight because you're here. Oh, the little wheels on my chair have encountered bubble wrap. So I moved my chair around, and that's what the popping noise was. Okay. And cast strength is the answer, says Santa Cruz. And Jason Coates says, if at first you don't succeed, more whiskey. Exactly, says Santa Cruz. Shelter Point says, your wall is starting to lean. How many of you got? I think I counted 300 on there. And it's been leaning for a while, but it's pretty stable. It just looks like it's going to lean over and fall. It's just the way it's, if I turn, see, it doesn't lean quite so much when I turn it, when I turn the camera, when I turn the video, the computer to the side a little bit. You can see that the one on the very, that way is completely vertical. But if you go on the other side as well, this one, the one on that side is quite vertical as well. You can take a level to it. Yeah, perfectly vertical. So I don't know, I guess somewhere in the middle of building this thing, I was getting smaller and smaller tubes and boxes towards the top, so they were getting closer and closer that way. And so that's what happened. I'll try a hot toddy before bed, says Mark. Well, that's a good idea. That won't hurt, that's for sure. Nice. Very nice. I'll be back in just a moment. Brilliant. Good going, Quig. Yeah, okay. I see it's an optical conclusion. Yeah, it's one of those. Be right back in a moment. Okay. All right. Good one, Quig. Okay. Catnap G is back. Anyone have any input for me? I have an option to buy Lagavulin Distillers Edition 17 or 18. Anyone know which is even a hair better? I don't know, as I believe I've only had the 2017. Hi, Quig. First time joining your stream, but have enjoyed your videos for a while. This is TGG24. Oh, thanks for dropping in and watching. Appreciate it. I was anxious to get at this. Oh, shit. I need another glass. I need a clean glass to do this justice. Just a moment. Okay, got a clean glass now. I will do some Shelter Point. This one is the double-barreled single malt whiskey. Bottle number 484 of 1,131. I like that. That's exclusivity. Let's see, what's it say here? It says you don't have to make whiskey in paradise, but it helps. Okay. Shelter Point double barrel whiskey is distilled small batches right here on our family farm in Oyster River, Vancouver Island. What makes our spirits so bold and distinctive? Well, for one, we only use a single grain barley grown here. The other unique ingredient is pure spring water that comes from a mountain-fed aquifer located directly beneath our property. Yeah, you can't get much better than that. All right. Santa Cruzan says to Catnap that the 2017 is better. And which drams have you been dramming on tonight? Oh, you're asking me. I could tell you. I had the day number 9 from the Whiskey Advent Calendar. I had the 41-year-old Canadian Club. This one here, the Water of Windsor. And now I'm about to open up this one here in honor of Shelter Point, who is here with us in the chat tonight. Get rid of some of this. This is one of Shelter Point's whiskeys. Now we got to get the cap off, or the pull tab. Convenient pull tab. There it is. Got a transparent plastic seal, and the tab is actually quite visible, being black. Nice. Very nice. Santa Cruz, and thanks. I know Lagavulin 12 was highly regarded for this. Mine is the Distiller's Edition. Oh, okay. Catnap G says maybe 27 was a great year for Lagavulin. Okay. Hello from Berlin, Quig. Oh, Cato. Good to have you with us. And could be, says Santa Cruz, and Catnap saying, which single malts would you say your favorite high-end Canadians are better than? I'd have to think about that one. Thinking about getting into high-end Canadian whiskeys. Good idea, Catnap. I like them a lot. And Shelter Point says here, hard to find that double barrel now. Enjoy. Yeah, well, I bought it when it was on the shelf. I'm several months behind on everything now. I remember the first time I got the inaugural release, the first Shelter Point that was ever produced, and I had a bitch of a time getting the cap open. And I think there was a peated version, which was the initial peated Shelter Point, and I had a bitch of time with that cap too. So I went to a whiskey festival, and at the whiskey festival, I was complaining to the guy who was presenting this stuff and saying, I had such a pain trying to get this open. But it's real simple. You just tilt the cap up, and it comes off by itself. The easiest cap, the easiest cork, the easiest cap to open in the world is the Shelter Point. So yeah, I've tried most Shelter Point iterations that have been available, and I look forward to trying more. When I see one on the shelf, I usually buy it on the spot. And yeah, hard to find. I think I had it in Duncan, when there was a master class in Duncan, and I was there, and I think this one was featured in that master class, if I'm not mistaken. That was at the Cowichan Valley Whiskey Festival, um, well, earlier this year. Donner Pass says hi again. Benjamin Coleman says, been binging. Whoops. Catnap says, did you say you got a Port Charlotte 10? If so, is the new edition or the second edition? It's the second limited edition, but apparently there I don't have the new edition. I've not seen it available here. And Benjamin Coleman says, been binging on your older videos this weekend. That's what I meant to say. Oh, that's cool. And here's the Spirit Safe saying, hello, Quig. Fantastic. He retracted a message too, but now he put it bottled a little on that Glen Ord for you. Oh, fine. That'll be great. Pretty foul, he says. I look forward to it. Every time I open a sample or a whiskey, it's a new adventure. Just like this one is right here. This is a new adventure. Catnap says, I'm sure both Port Charlotte 10s are excellent. I know mine is just excellent stuff. Still waiting for 11. Ironically and interesting enough, the Port Charlotte 11 was the first Port Charlotte that I ever tasted about 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know if you'll be able to find it anymore. Spirit Safe is asking what I've got open now. Well, I got a Shelter Point double-barreled single malt whiskey, bottle number 484 of 1131, 50% alcohol by volume. And the reason I opened this one tonight is because we have Shelter Point with us in the chat. So that's why I did that. That's what I have open right now, yeah. Andrew Kaysen says, I have a new bottle of Suntory Toki. It's very nice. Suntory is a typical Japanese whiskey in that nothing really stands out. It's sort of all harmonious and nice and easygoing, and nothing really comes out and punches you. It just sort of harmonious and easy. And a lot of people don't like it. Or I've seen some reviews of the Suntory Toki that were not favorable. I thought it was okay, but I wouldn't say it was completely great. Oh, excuse me. Shelter Point says, we're thinking of doing a box or tube next year. What does everyone prefer? What would you like on your wall, Quig? To me, well, I went on a trip to Scotland earlier this year, and the tubes held up beautifully in my luggage. They stayed perfectly intact. There was one box that I have right over there. It took a beating. It was a thick box with thick sides, thick cardboard on the inside of the, fancy cardboard. And it took a beating and preserved the bottle inside unscathed. But tubes are more resilient, I think. Tubes are more, they don't fall apart as easily as boxes do. Just saying. But it's entirely up to you what you're going to make, what you're going to use. It will go on my wall regardless of whether it's a tube or a box. It will go on my wall. Oh, nice. Nice. At 50%, it has a little bit of a bite to it, which is nice. And it's tingling all over and coating the mouth. And it's giving me a hug down my throat. Nice. Very nice. Nice young whiskey. And as time goes on, I imagine there's going to be older versions of Shelter Point coming out, which will be nice. Um, and as time goes on, I imagine there's going to be older versions of Shelter Point coming out, which will be nice. Um, and Spirit Safe is looking forward to trying a Shelter Point. Jason Coates says, structurally speaking, it's good to have enough boxes to keep things square rather than trying to stack tubes. Tubes rule, says QGG, and I prefer tubes just because they stand up better. Boxes are more eco-friendly. Well, boxes are more eco-friendly. Yeah, I suppose, but tubes are more they stand up better. So I don't know. Depends what you want. If you throw it away, I guess it's not my decision to make either way. Do you get a note of powdered jelly donuts? Now, would that be on the nose or on the palate? I have to do a second sip because the first sip on a neck pour is not always the most advantageous for tasting. But I'll see. I do get some kind of a jelly. Jelly, like the kind of jelly that's in the donut and it oozes out once you've taken a bite. And the white, yeah. On the nose, yeah. It's not much of a stretch to imagine that. Powdered, yeah, the white sugar powder. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Look at the legs. Okay, I see some do it again. They run down pretty good. Yeah, exactly. Powdered jelly donuts. And the jelly would it be like a strawberry or a raspberry jelly? Or more of a apricot jelly. Yeah. Oh, nice. Very nice. Mm. Oh, just a little sip. It's delicious. And Kijiji is asking what grains are used in the shelter point. Well, according to what the bottle says, malted barley. That's it. That's all. And grown on the farm where the stuff is distilled, which is excellent. We'll have to get you up here to do a Quig warehouse tasting. Oh, that would be fantastic. One of these days. Well, yeah, I would love that. A malted barley, yeah. There you go. There's your answer, KGG. Oh yeah. Oh, I'd love that. Yeah, I'd love to do that. One of these years, I'll call you up and make a trip. Actually, in August, I'll be going to Tofino camping, and maybe somewhere on that trip, as I'm heading out to Tofino or as I'm heading back, maybe I could drop in on you. What do you think? That'll be in August sometime. If you can email me, and we can set up details and stuff. My email address is, excuse me, here. There's my email address, foodquig@shaw.ca. And have you got any contact information on this bottle here? French oak finish. Ooh. I didn't see that part yet. That's where the jelly comes from, I think. Please savor responsibly. Return for refund. It was bottled in July of 2018, I think it is. July 2018, yeah. I like that kind of transparency, and there's information here on the side too. Shelter Point Distillery and the address in Campbell River, fantastic. Yeah. Sounds great. Ask for Leon. Will do. Will do. Okay. Kijiji says, looks great. Look forward to tasting if you get Ontario distribution. Okay. And I can probably phone. Shelterpoint.ca. Okay. Yeah, I can look that up. I can go to that anytime. Go to that website. Oh, thank you. Okay. Leon at shelterpoint.ca. Beautiful. Oh. Now, when you talk of French oak, is this a Limousin cask that has had a wine in it previously? Because it gives me a little bit of that wine. Hopefully you'll be at Whiskey Fest in Victoria. We'll be there. Yes, I will be there. I was the first one in town to get tickets. I was the number one in line at the Strath. the next person in line was astounded to see me there already when she showed up with her gravity chair and her sleeping bag and all her other accoutrements for staying out all night to get tickets for the whiskey festival. Oh yeah, I'll be there for sure. Absolutely, we'll definitely drop by, and that will be a pleasure. I look forward to it. Of course, I wouldn't miss the whiskey festival. I wouldn't miss it, and I wouldn't miss the one in Duncan either. And isn't there one up in? Let's see, at the very beginning of March. Isn't there one also up in Comox Valley? Because I know there's one in Duncan, but there's another one up in Comox. There's another whiskey festival up there, I think, that I might go to next year. I have the tickets for the one in Victoria already, but the tickets for the other two I will get as I go along. I think I'll be up there. Oh yeah, definitely will be there, as well as some people who were in this chat will be there too. Spirit Safe, for example, and Trenny and C are not in the chat, but I think Trenny and C will be there as well. And it says here, Quails Gate Pinot Noir wine cask. Ah, interesting. Interesting. It's nice. I like the way the French wine, or should we say the Pinot Noir, complements the spirit, the spirit driven. It's beautifully married. It's just nicely done. The finish brings together the finish and the distillate complement each other. I can't put it any better than that or more eloquently. It's very nice. Very nice job on this whiskey. Yeah, I'm still getting some of that jelly donut. Beautiful, beautiful. My nose is going to get tired after tonight. And there's no harshness at all. It's just but I won't go so far. What have we got here? KGG says, don't know if I have tried a wine finished whiskey. How would that compare to a port finish? Well, it depends. I have had a lot of wine finished whiskeys, and if they're done right, they're fantastic. You get something like a red breast cask strength it's delicious. But I've had some other wine finishes that were just not much to my liking. They tasted too much like wine. Um, this one works. This one is not overly done. This is one where the wine and the distillate and the whiskey, they complement each other. They add something to each other to make um, the result is more than the sum of the parts. But sometimes a wine finish can be less than the sum of the parts, and then it can be overdone. A wine finish, it's a very exacting thing. If it's finished for too long, it's too much wine, and if it's finished for too short, it's you barely notice the wine. There's a balance. It's an art form to get that finish just right. And this one is right on the money. This is a good whiskey. There we go. It's still quite young. I would like to see an older version of this someday. Would that be happening? Do you have some old stocks aging and sitting in a warehouse and getting older and getting more aged and getting more mature? I'm not saying that this is bad at all. But there must be a temptation to let it age some more. Yeah, maybe there will be a rare cask or two somewhere in there. Yeah, we'll see you at the festival for sure. And I would love to come up and do a tasting someday. Mm. Catnap says, on the topic of Japanese whiskey, what do you think of Nika from the barrel? Jason Coates says it's excellent. If you're paying anywhere near MSRP from the barrel, it's absolutely worth it. Yeah, I've had it. It was okay. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's good. Shelter Point says absolutely getting older every year. I'll drink to that. Slanchava. Yeah. And I'll pick up probably every Shelter Point I see on the shelf, as I've been doing so far. Our oldest cask in the warehouse is 8.5 years. Oh, now you're tempting me to come visit, aren't you? Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. I am looking forward to that. By the time I get there, it'll be over 9 years. But I don't expect that's the one I'm going to taste from. That would be making too much of an imposition. But yeah. When was it that I first tried? I think it's 5 or 6 years ago. Maybe I had the first Shelter Point that I ever tried. It was the inaugural batch. I made the video here, and I only wish that I would have been more experienced when I first tried it. I tried a lot of things when I was relatively inexperienced with nosing and tasting. Oh, just wait till we get to a 25-year double barrel. I should live so long. By the time that happens, if you lay that barrel down right now, I'll be 80 years old by the time we get to try it. Okay, 25 years, and you're 8.5 years. Let's say you're 9 years now. So 16 years in the future, 16 years in the future, I'll be a much older man than I am now. Um, and Jason Coates is asking, are you guys distributing in the US at all? Good question. I love how this has morphed from an opening of samples that were sent to me by Whiskey Whistle, by Mark from Whiskey Whistle. And now it's become kind of a forum for Shelter Point. Excellent. 16 years hence, I would love to try that 25-year-old double barrel. That'd be amazing. Jason Coates, okay, he's asking, and Catnap says, lately I've had taste blindness. My senses have been off. Could be because my mind has had to be on other things. Does that ever happen to you, Quig, or anyone here? It's discouraging. Well, I'll tell you what. I tasted today. My first whiskey of the day was a very strong whiskey. It was high ABV. And it was day number 9 from the Secret Spirits Whiskey Advent Calendar, which I have right there. If you look there, yeah, there, you look there. That's it. Okay, Secret Spirits Whiskey Advent Calendar. And I had the day number 9. So I took it and I had a fresh glass of water and I had a fresh Glencairn and I poured it in there and I tasted it. And it tasted like one thing. And I was pretty sure what it was. Well, I got the maturation right. But what originally was the whiskey, I got wrong. Well, the video should be going up in about 5.5 hours. So it will go live in 5.5 hours, and you'll see that I was totally wrong. Everything about the whiskey except for the maturation. I got the maturation right. I got the ABV wrong when I first went with the legs. I got that wrong. I'm nosing it. I'm going, oh, and I said what I thought the ABV was based on the nose. Totally wrong. Then when I tasted it, I was totally wrong. And then I nosed and tasted something that I thought would point me in the direction of what kind of whiskey it was. And I was confident that I knew what was in my glass. And then when I looked at the sample and I read the label, I was gobsmacked. I was just like, I said, I guess I'm totally wrong. It happens. You can't be perfect all the time. And, it's a temporary thing. In August, for a couple of weeks there, my tasting and nosing was off. I really couldn't make sense of what I was trying, But fortunately, it came back. It happens. We're not perfect. We're human, We're not machines that can just, detect everything on a dime. So, yeah, taste blindness, it happens. Shelter Point says, not yet, but hopefully soon. Okay. Whiskey Whistle says, away, but now I'm back. Okay, good to see you again, Mark. Jason Coates says, at Shelter Point, we'll keep an eye out. We don't get many of the good Canadian offerings here, if I'm honest. Yeah, I know. And Whiskey Whistle says, hi, Rob, at the Spirit Safe. And Shelter Point says, we'll do a Food Quake special birthday edition. Which birthday do you really want to celebrate? Did you try the alpha yet? Oh, no. No, not yet. You want me to do that? I might be able to do that if you like. I could do that in this session right here. Project Alpha. Is there a? Oh, it's so dark. It's hard to read the. Is that 61%? I think I might be able to do that. So no, I didn't try it yet, but I could if you like. Go at your own pace. Which birthday do you really want to celebrate? Well, if we go another 16 years from now, I'll be like 71. After about 70, I think every birthday would be worth celebrating. Even after 65, I think every birthday will be worth celebrating. Yes, 61%. Okay, well, that's stronger than this shelter point. So, yeah, maybe I'll do that. Okay, you're on, Mark. Once I'm done with this shelter point, I'll go from the Project Alpha and let you know what I think. That's entertaining as all hell. I mean, since we're on, why not? Jonathan Sadler is here saying, hey, all. Hi, Jonathan. Good to have you with us. We have quite a good mix of people here. My suggestion, yeah. Okay, cool. Whiskey Whistle says, pour half measure of alpha and then half measure of beta. Okay. That's what you would suggest. Okay. And Jonathan Sadler says, hey, Mark, we chatted via email some months back. Oh, cool. Okay, half alpha and half beta. Wouldn't it be a good idea to try them both separately first and then mix them? Yeah, I'm going to try that. Cheers from Brazil. Love your content. Thank you. Thank you very much. And what's that? How do you, I don't know how to pronounce. Is it Chow? That's probably not Chow. Is it Kayo? Butter. Okay. Whiskey Whistle says, hi, Jonathan. Yes, I remember. We'll follow up soon. And Jonathan Sadler says, how have you been, Mr. Quigg? I've been fine. I've been just grand. It's been a good day. It's been a good evening. Do you do half measures, Quigg? Never seen that before. With a smiley face on that, yeah. No, I usually do a Quigg size dram. Very nice. Oh, wow. That is beautiful. So, Project Beta is 60%, and Project Alpha is 61%. Ooh, this is going to get me quite snoggered, or it's going to have a lot of flavor. Let's see now. Yeah, I could. Let me get a couple more Glencairns and some more water, and I'm going to try doing that. This is going to be interesting. Okay. Okay. Got two clean Glencairn glasses right there. Got two clean glasses. Got the Project Alpha and the Project Beta. Project Alpha. Have I finished the Loch Gorm? Yeah, Jonathan, I finished it. It went in no time flat. I just gone. It was so good. I like that whiskey a lot. And Catnap loves the back wall, and it is a thing of beauty. Whiskey Whistler says to Shelter Point, all my boys at Winnipeg Whiskey Club love having you in September. Big fans now. Oh, fantastic. That's good. We have quite a nice little community going on here. Okay, it's the Project Alpha. Not quite half of it. There, half of it. Half of the Project Alpha. Very nice. And half of the Project Beta. Catnap G says, Mark, I'd join your club if I lived in Winnipeg, but alas. Whiskey Whistle says, I have to be careful as now we have two ladies in the club. Oh. Gotta watch what you say. Try not to make as big a fool of yourself as you would otherwise, I suppose. Okay, half a beta. Half a alpha, half a beta. I don't usually do that, but I'm going to do that this time. I'm going to save the two Brewers batch 18 and the Mark 1 blend waxy fruit for some other time. Right. Whiskey Whistle says, Catnap G, that's awesome to say, brother. Okay. Now let's go. Oh. Good evening, says Swami Suave. Good evening, Swami. Good to have you with us. And Catnap G says, thanks, Mark. And Whiskey Whistle says, sup malted and malted slancha. Catnap G says, slancha. Jason Coates, it's in support of gender equality. I don't let the presence of women stop me from making a fool of myself. There you go. He's drinking your waxy fruit. No, I'm not. I'm not touching the waxy fruit. That's going to be some other time. We're doing Project Alpha and Project Beta. Laughing out loud, says Whiskey Whistle. Now, from this Project Beta, I'm getting, this is something that I don't recall ever nosing something quite like this. It's like a musty grape, red wine, yeast, funky. This is a funky little number. And it has elements of, I'm getting some toffee, some caramel, but there's that musty cellar. It reminds me of a musty cellar, like damp musty cellar. Oh, wow. Uh, and if men have to burp, we burp. It's don't drink it, Quig. Shelter Point says whiskey whistle, our pleasure at Whiskey Fabric. Swami says waxy fruit is made of people. Is Martin saying, hey dudes. What's up, Martin? Just got home. Says Swami. Oh, he must have been working late. This is curious. Quite pleasant in a musty kind of cellar kind of way. Oh, wow. There you go. And Catnap G is looking forward to first bottle of Glenfarclas 15. I like Glenfarclas 15 a lot. Now, this alpha is quite interesting. Different from anything I've ever had. You may take that as a compliment, Mark. They need to stick GIFs in YouTube live streaming. Sherry Bomb, says QGG. Glenfarclas? Yeah. Oh. Now here. Oh, this is the beta. 17 days. This is also fruity, but it's lighter. It's a lot lighter than the alpha. I'm getting a lot of apricots. Apricots. A lot of apricots. Wow. That'd be, wow. Apricot jam. Apricot jam. All over the place. Okay. Catnap G says, I love how Horst pronounces cherry. He'll say sherry, then follow it up with, no, not the sherry cask, the sherry fruit. Yeah. Oh, lingering. Yeah. Definitely lingering. Whiskey Whistle says, there will be similarities as it is refill alpha cask. So the alpha cask, yeah, but this is a lot lighter than the alpha, which is okay. This is full on the alpha. I've never nosed anything quite like this. This is something special. And the beta. Apricot jelly. Okay. Okay, there would be similarities. Yeah, but there's none of the musty cellar in the beta that I'm getting in the alpha. Oh, I love that musty cellar. And the beta is more, it's lighter and it's more fruit. Oh, it's not more fruit, it's just lighter fruit. Where I'm getting Uh, red grapes over here. I'm getting apricots over here. Okay, but yeah, similarities. Okay. So what is the base of the beta and what is it microcast in? Okay. Martin says Horst and his son have a really good channel. Yes, they do. And it's also available. Yes. Whiskey Whistle says, and the Alpha was a fruit wine barrel. Oh, okay. Horst was the first reviewer I watched. Didn't find Ralphie until about 3 months later. Oh, I watched Ralphie first, and then I saw Horst, but only in German. And then later on, I discovered that he was doing stuff in English. So that's when I started watching him. Whiskey Whistle says, Martin, they do. I haven't watched lately. Time to catch up. Okay, we're talking about Horst's channel. Yeah. I love how he says, a remembrance of Pete, A+ tasting note. Yeah, okay. Awesome. I was told Alpha was over oaked. I was going for big oak. I don't know. I don't get too much oak. I get more of that sherry and no, I don't get over oak. I get a lot of fruit. A lot of fruit. Going for big oak. Well, what you got is big fruit. I'm gonna taste it now. Mm-hmm. Okay. On the palate, I get the oak. Oh, big oak. You're right. Don't get it so much on the nose where I'm getting fruits, but on the palate. Big virgin oak. Yeah. Big oak. With the fruit too. It leaves an aftertaste of oak too. It's an interesting experiment. It is big oak. It's like, I can like this in the same way that I like Woodford Reserve double oaked. It's you have to love oak to appreciate this, but it's nice. Okay. I was told Alpha was over oaked. Okay. Catnap says, too bad some great whiskeys are no longer available here. Yeah, I understand. I'll share more details after you taste them. Okay, that's good. Oh, excuse me. Catnap says, I was quite disappointed with my recent purchase of Glendalough 7. I'd sure love to try the 13 Mizunara. Apparently, they will be coming out with a 17 Mizunara. Really? Wow. Well, when it comes out, it'll probably cost a lot. And when I first tried whiskey, I swooshed it around my mouth because Horst did, but I didn't taste it nearly as well as if I just let it kind of marinate on my palate. Whiskey Whistle laughs. KGG says, is the Alpha American or European oak? Good question. In hindsight, I should have dumped it out 5 to 7 days early. Maybe. Okay. There's Sneerson saying, hey, all, what was the unpackaging? The unpackaging was this two brewers release number 18 that was sent to me most generously by Mark from Whiskey Whistle, and the Mark 1 blend waxy fruit, 47.2% blended malt, But right now I'm tasting these projects that Mark made using his little cask, the Project Alpha and the Project Beta. And I have them right here. I have tasted the Alpha. I'm going to taste the Beta. I nose them. I like the nose on the Alpha very much. But what I get mostly is wine and musty cellar. And the nose does not prepare you for what's on the palate. Mm. There's so much oak. It's almost perfumey. It's almost a perfume oak, if I can. American oak, yeah, okay. Quercus alba. And Elite Apex Legend says, "You getting torn up tonight? What we drinking, bud?" Well, these are special things from Whiskey Whistle, his Project Alpha and Project Beta that he aged himself in his own oak cask, which is interesting. And Jason Coates says, "I don't even know." And Whiskey Whistle says he unpacked a Whiskey Whistle package. Nice, spicy, not bitter. Okay. Whiskey Sneerson says, "Very nice." Catnap G says, "Yes, when the 17 Glendalough comes out, I will be a fortune, but perhaps still a bit cheaper than the most expensive bottle you've ever bought, Quig. Perhaps. We'll see." And Martin says, "I attribute all the whiskey channels on YouTube to the boom in Scotch consumption. Any opinions?" Yeah. We might be responsible for causing people to drink a lot of whiskey and for distilleries to make a lot of money. And I'm going to taste the Project Beta. Okay. Here's the Beta. Love that apricot nose. Whiskey Whistle says, "Martin, I agree. I remember feeling there wasn't enough content out there." We've been responsible for putting out a lot of content. Whiskey Whistle says, "Food Quick, after you taste Beta, I will share details." Well, what I'm going to do is I'm tasting the Beta now. It's astringent. It's more astringent than the Alpha. Okay. Try this again. I'm getting that apricot jelly. Mm. You know, there is oak on the Beta, and it's tingling while it's also high ABV. It's tingling my tongue, and it's coating my mouth with that apricot flavor. It's delicious. Completely delicious. But what I'm going to do is mix the two. Is that what I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to put the two together in one glass. Martin Calmer or the Bourbon Boom. Yeah, exactly, Sneerson. Elite Apex Legend says, what was the most expensive whiskey you have purchased that you regretted the most? If so, do you remember why you regretted it? Yeah. Cavalan Sherry Solist. It was not that good. It was like $260, I think I paid for this Cavalan Sherry Solist. It was the only Cavalan that was available at that particular shop at the time, and I thought I was so intrigued by it. And at the time, people were reviewing sherry Solists and Cavalans all over the place, and I thought I got to get in on this because these guys they recommended it all over the place. And I got the sherry Solist, and it was like, nah. I paid like $260 for this freaking bottle, and it was just a lot of sherry. It was a sherry bomb and a half, and I didn't taste any whiskey in it. And here we are. Yeah, that was the most expensive one that I regretted. TGG says, I would say, Quig, that you are definitely responsible for people consuming a lot of whiskey. Possibly. I don't know. Yes, there are a lot of good bourbons, but sadly, I kind of overdid it, and now I can't seem to appreciate it as much. Thing with bourbon is once you've had things like Stag Junior and Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, you go to any other bourbon and you go, at least I do. There are some good ones, yeah, but a lot of them taste the same. Catnap says distilleries should give whiskey review channels a generous discount on whiskey as well. Should liquor stores? Well, no, not really. They should, but that would be like giving us some kind of VIP treatment, and I don't know if that's the right thing to do. Elite Apex Legend says, also, is it just more, or does it seem like the background is tilting like it's about to fall? No, or it's not going to fall. It's not going to fall. It's an optical conclusion, said somebody earlier tonight in this stream. Whiskey Whistle says, wouldn't that be nice? But I would jeopardize our integrity, I feel. Yeah, exactly. We would be like, they would own us. Or remember back in earlier days of YouTube, they would PWN us. And I don't like to be PWN'd. Catnap G says that Whiskey Whistle, not at all. It would build your appreciation all the more. Awesome, you like it. You can try for sure. It's so batch variable. What are we talking about? This stuff or what? Catnap G says, I imagine the Cavalan Solus tastes like a strong red wine. Yeah, and red wine that's been so batch variable. Okay. Sipping on Alberta Premium 20-year. I haven't tried that one yet, Sneerson, but I'm gonna. I have one here. I have the 20. I have the cast strength. I have a bunch of whiskeys that I'm gonna try, but those ones will wait because I still have some other ones that I need to try before. Cavalan Sherry single cask I had tasted like miso, beef broth, and curry. There you go, Jason. Amazing. That was at Santa Cruz. Okay. Whiskey Whistle says, Catnap G, in a way, yes, it tastes more like a brandy in the case of Solus Sherry. Solus Bourbon is a lovely whiskey for whiskey lovers. Okay. Shelter Point says, just poured a Cavalan Cast Strength X Bourbon Solist. See, I've never had that one. That was probably kind of expensive too. Cavalan Cast Strength X Bourbon Solist. Okay. Martin Calmer says, interesting tasting notes. Laughing out loud to Jason Coates. Where are we now? Shelter Point, it's a good one. I wouldn't say it's better than yours or Two Brewers, though. Batch bottle variability really affects some barrels. Okay. Jason Coates says to Martin, I was interesting whiskey. Taiwanese maturation gets so extractive. Okay. Catnap says Bunnahabhain Chubanach. I find is exclusive. Chubanach is very good. I like it. I got the last bottle at the LCBO, and I might not be too complex, but the distillery character is remarkable. Yeah. Okay, I'm on the on this one, Mark. The Project Beta. I like the Project Beta. It's not overpowering. It's not such a punch in the face with oak like the Project Alpha is. But you said something about mixing the two. Okay, here's my bit of blending. And away we go. Now I've got the Project Alpha and Beta blended. I'm going to give it a try. Okay. I get the fruits. I get the grapes. I get the musty basement. And I think the apricots of the Project Beta are overpowered by the Project Alpha fruits. KGG says to Catnap, Bunnahabhain Chubanach is so good, so sad it's gone. And Catnap says, agreed in full. Well, Mark, this is interesting. Ooh. I still think it's a huge hit of oak when I mix the two together. That huge hit of oak is somewhat overpowering. I will add some water to it to bring the ABV down and to make the oak a little bit more palatable, shall we say. I'll bring it down 2 spoons. I'll have to try the mix, said Whiskey Whistle. Oh, I thought that's what you had suggested that I do. Okay, I will do it. I added some water to bring the ABV down. Okay, now I get some oak on the nose. With the addition of water, I get less of the fruits on the nose, but more of the oak. Oh, now that's interesting. I get some spice. It's spicy and it's got a lot of oak, a lot of door paint planings, a lot of pencil shavings. Mm, still a lot of oak. If I add the Project Beta, going to add a little more Project Beta to it. Another half a bottle, another half of a quarter. See what that does. So now I've got, oh, I may have hit it right on now. I wanted to see the results. Okay. Anyone have any thoughts of Rock Oyster 18? Haven't tried the 18, but I like Rock Oyster. So here's the details. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. But first, okay, Alpha. Manitoba choke cherry eau de vie aged in choke cherry wine seasoned oak. Interesting. The choke cherry is what brings in that musty cellar thing. Definitely. Manitoba choke cherry eau de vie aged in choke cherry wine seasoned oak. That's where that's where that comes from. That musty cellar is the choke cherry. Okay. Martin says at Catnap G, in my area, we have to convince a local liquor stores to special order Douglas Lang. Really? Today I have learned I am just not a fan of Ardbeg. Oh, sorry to hear that, Catnap. It's good, but it just doesn't leave me satisfied. It doesn't have the big malty buildup of power. It's closed. It just maintains a nice strength. I think it needs time to open up, perhaps. KGG says to Catnap, I'm not sure we can be friends. And Catnap says to Martin, it might be worth it. Convince liquor stores to special order Douglas Lang. Okay, so I've got half of the Project Alpha and 3/4 of the Alpha, Project Beta. Choke cherry. Mm. Wow, that's still heavy oak. Still very heavy oak. Even with the Project Beta. Wow. Catnap says to KGG, the airbag, eh? Sorry, I know people will not approve. I am still waiting for my palate to readjust to it. Loved the 10 like crazy the first time I had it. Martin Calmer says at KGG, 24 agree, Ardbeg is my favorite. And KGG says, I'm with you, Isla Power. Yeah, Ardbeg is great. I've had a lot of the Ardbeg's special releases. And wow, this is quite an odyssey there, Mark. Very interesting to try this stuff. And I've been going on for an hour and 51 minutes. I can't believe it already. Catnap says, I won't argue. Ardbeg is great. And believe me, I've tried so hard to love it. I have convinced myself I had, but then when I have to say Port Charlotte is just blows the Ardbeg. Really? Huh. Interesting. I love both of them. Depends which Port Charlotte and which Ardbeg we're talking about. Whiskey Whistle says, Beta, I had a few bottles laying around that I couldn't drink for their poor quality, so I took care of them. Includes a Welsh malt, a Canadian whiskey with a barley focus, Canadian single malt, and a big brand blended scotch. That's what you did with the Project Beta. Okay, and then you put it in the cask for 17 days. Catnap says he meant Ardbeg, not Ardbeg. Okay, Martin says to Catnap G, have you tried the Corey or Oogie? There's a message held for review. I meant Ardbeg, not. Okay. Catnap G, have you tried Corey or Oogie? I meant airbag, fucking autocorrect. Ardbeg, not airbag. Okay. Ugh. Catnap G at Martin Calmer. Yes, I have. And I was so excited to try them. It was those two bottles that made me realize it. Whiskey Whistle says, I won't explain what taking care of them means. Yeah. You put them in the cask after having had the choke cherry stuff in there. No, I understand what taking care of them means. you put them in the cask and aged them, and this is interesting. Don't get me wrong, I recognize that Ardbeg is delicious, yet still it doesn't hit the wow factor for me. It depends which one. Some of them are wonderful. Martin says, I got these bottles of Grooves and still have 2 unopened and am afraid to open them for fear once they are gone. Grooves is wonderful. I enjoyed my bottle of it. It was fantastic. KGG says to Martin and Quig, would you say Corey or Oogie is preferable to Ardbeg 10? Okay, I love Corey Vrecken. Corey Vrecken is a fantastic whiskey. It's been a long time since I've had some, but I like that one a lot. Ugadal, I find that the peat and the sherry kind of clash. They don't make for an enjoyable marriage, at least at the beginning of the bottle. As the bottle goes down, Ugadal gets better. But my initial impression of Ugadal was yuck. Give me Corey Brecken any day over Ugadal. That's just my opinion. And is Oogie preferable? Corey is preferable to Ardbeg 10. Ugadal, maybe not so much. I don't know. I'd have to go back and try Ugadal and Corey Brecken and Ardbeg 10 again to get myself to be sure, because it's such a long time since I've had all three of them that that what I say right now might be just, not, it wouldn't reflect what I've tasted. So I'd have to try them again. And Whiskey Whistle says one more step between. They were blended and went into the alpha cask at 64%. Aha. Catnap says Corey and more excitement to it. You preferred the Corey. Okay, I didn't prefer the Corey. I preferred the but it's such a long time ago. It's about 5 years since I've had the Corey Brecken and the Ugadal. Robadiels. Okay, that's a new name. I've never seen that one before. Started out with Knob Creek small batch and now ending off with Alberta Premium. Okay. KGG24 says, laughing out loud, yuck. Next bottle of Ardbeg shall be Corey. Paid $175 for a 750 mil in Alberta. Oh, and we're talking about $17 for a 750 mil in Alberta. Okay, $175, $17 for Alberta Premium or Knob Creek. Oogie, sorry. Oogie, Corey. Well, okay, Sneerson, you're welcome to your opinion. You prefer Oogie to Corey. The other way around, but you're welcome to your opinion. It's not a problem. It's a qualitative thing anyway. Martin says, Catnap G and Quig, I did leave a bottle of Ardbeg 10 open way too long and it did fizzle. Yeah, they will do that. Bottles of peated whiskey, if you leave them open too long, they do kind of get flat. And I remember that happening to a bottle of Bowmore 12. It was great when I first opened it, but 6 months later it did fizzle. And there wasn't much of that enjoyment left anymore. Shelter Point poured a Corey Brecken at Shelter Point Whiskey Club on Thursday. Love it. Yes. Okay, we agree on that one there. Corey Brecken is wonderful stuff. Caleb says, I vote for both, but prefer Oogie. Okay. Malty Alti is here saying, Ardbeg is a phenomenal whiskey. Love the Ugadal after cutting the grass. Love the Corey Brecken on a cold winter's night. And Catnap G says, I did prefer the Corey to the Oogie all the way, just like you, Quig. Okay. Malty says, to Whiskey Whistle, been loving the Advent calendar reviews. Excellent. And they're a lot of fun. Catnap G says, Quig, I recall you mentioning you haven't had much luck with 18-year-old whiskeys, but what about the Bunnahabhain 18? Haven't tried it yet. I have a bottle right there. I haven't opened it yet. I will get to it. And Jason Coates still prefers the 10. Sticking his tongue out like that. Whiskey Whistle sent to Malty. Fantastic to hear. Okay. KGG says, just want to say this is great, Quig. Like hanging out around with a bunch of friends, having a dram and having a great conversation. Let me turn my amplifier back on because it's gone through 8 hours of being on, and after that, it cuts out. Okay, I did that. Yeah, we're hanging out. This is great. Martin says everybody's palate is different on any given day. That's true. Malty just popped the new Lagavulin 11 Offerman. Great stuff. I haven't seen that around here yet, but I haven't looked that hard. I'm kind of not buying a lot of whiskey these days because I have spent a lot of money on the BC liquor store premium spirits release, and I haven't paid for it all yet, so I'm not buying any whiskey right now. I would love to, but the money is not there. I want to pay off what I bought already. Bowmore 12 is sad, yes, in comparison to other things it is. And Bowmore number 1 is tragedy. Bowmore number 1, is that the, I think it's small batch? Yeah, I don't like it. Whiskey Whistle says, folks, I have to get some sleep. Still overcoming a bad stomach bug from Friday. Quig, I am glad you liked the Greek projects. Cheers. Slanchava, Mark. That oak made me cough. Okay. What's your thoughts on craft distilleries charging crap loads for bottles? Eau Claire Distillery in Alberta is charging $105 for one 75 ml 3-year-old whiskey. Well, if people will pay it, why not? But, it's an economy of scale. If you have less of something to offer, you can charge more for it. It's just like that. And at Catnap G, I find Bowmore 12 is so variable bottle to bottle. Some are very bad. Yeah, some are okay though. Jason Coates says, yes, Mark. Cheers, Mark. Feel better. Yes, by all means. I feel like my disappointment for Ardbeg has made you all realize how much you all like it. Could be, Catnap, could be. Later Whistle, says Sneerson. Yeah, later. Cheers to Quig. Cheers all. Thanks, Jason and Sneerson and all. Good night. Yeah, good night. Catnap G says to KGG, don't you think hit or miss whiskeys are bad news? Lagavulin 11. I haven't tried that one. I'll need to acquire. Okay. Malty says, I think the Lag 11 Offerman dominates the Lag 16. Lag 11 has multi-grilled mango notes. Get better, Mark, says Martin. Okay. I do think hit or miss whiskeys are bad news for the brand. Yeah. Because of that. Shy away from, okay. Anyone have any thoughts on Craigellachie 17? I've never had Craigellachie 17, but I like the 13 a lot. It's really great. 17, no, I haven't tried it yet. I tried to get it a few times, but I haven't found it. Economy of scale, that's cool. Never thought about it from that perspective. Exactly. I'm hoping it beats the Kleinleach 14. You're hoping what beats the Kleinleach 14? Oh, the Craigellachie 17. Ooh, that's a tall order. You're asking a lot there. I wish I could have some Craigellachie 17 to try it. Jason Coates saying at Catnap G, I think it's because I like it. I've never been one to care much about other people agreeing with me. Okay. Which will be difficult. I've never been so pleased with a whiskey as I have been with Clynelish 14. Okay, I'll concur with you there, Catnap. Clynelish 14 is fantastic. I wish I could find some of it around here anymore, but I haven't seen it for a couple of years. Talisker 10, that whiskey is a gem. Yes, Talisker 10 is beautiful. It's like an old friend to me. Jason Coates says, oh man, I picked up a Craigellachie 17 recently, but haven't opened it yet. I expect good things. Yeah, just don't let the hype fool you, and don't get too excited about it, because if you do and you expect too much, it might disappoint you. I've had that happen before. Malty says, folks, if you want to sample the best craft distillery, look no further than Glenallachie. Okay, under Billy Walker's tutelage. Yeah, I've tried the 12. It's fantastic. MK 2021. Love you, man. You keep me going. Oh, fantastic. Thank you. Catnap says to Jason, I forgot if or what I asked you was in reference to Ardbeg. Okay. TGG says to Catnap G and Sir Quig, Talisker 10 is Talisker versus Talisker Storm. Oh, been a while since I've had either one. I love Talisker 10. Storm was good too, if I recall, but it's been several years, so 4 or 5 years anyway. There's a Taylor Saber saying, I asked my friend to get me a drink tonight, and they bought me Cuddy Sark. Should I find a new friend? Which Cuddy Sark was it? Was it the regular Cuddy Sark or the Prohibition? Cuddy Sark will do in a pinch. I would give your friend the benefit of the doubt and say that your friend didn't know whiskey. How about that? Malty says, how about the Secret Spirits Advent Calendar 17-year Auchentoshan? How great was that? It was good. It was very good. I have liked every dram from the whiskey calendar so far, except one. Yeah, the Auchentoshan was amazing. I did not think it was Auchentoshan at all. Very good. Martin says, yeah, the Klein is impossible to find here in New York too. Yeah, that's probably because it's so damn good. It sells out as soon as people see it. Jason Coates says, I base my expectations for the 17 on my appreciation of the 13, not my hype. I'm a curmudgeon. Hype usually fails to move me. Yeah, the 17 is so good too and so wonderfully affordable. Or the 13 is so great, but the 17, yeah, I'd be looking forward to the 17 too if I could find it. I've heard discouraging things about Storm versus Talisker 10. Also, the Distiller's Edition is incredible. Yes, I've had the Talisker Distiller's Edition. It is wonderful. Taylor Saber says regular. The regular. Yeah. The regular Cuddy Sark. Well, I'll say that maybe your friend didn't know about whiskey. That's possible. When people mention Talker, that's probably Talisker, I always say, how now we're talking. To think I hated Talisker when I first tried it, but would wager we all hated it the first time and then loved it. I didn't like Talisker the first time I tried it either. I thought it was gross. But after I got to know it a little better, and after I got to understand peated whiskey, that's the first peated whiskey I think I ever tried. I didn't like it when I first tried it, but yeah, exactly. One of the first malts I had in Scotland when my whiskey love was being forged. Love it, says Jason. Okay. Awesome, says Catnap. Cutty Sark was the go-to whiskey for the father of a friend of mine way back in the 60s and 70s. Kind of shows how things have moved from blends back to the single malts today. Still, blends outsell single malts, believe it or not. Malty says, I'm guessing the one you didn't like was the Nas ex bourbon and Portuguese wine cask from December 6th. Very boring dram. Actually, that's not the one I didn't like. That one was interesting. Uh, that was the ex bourbon and Portuguese wine cask. That was interesting. That's not the one I'm talking about. Catnap G says, I am thinking about picking up a Springbank 15. I love the 10. I know it isn't your favorite, but Quig, but I just love it. Yeah, you're welcome to have a different palate than mine. That's not a problem. 15 is okay. Sneerson says Taylor Shaw, a buddy, was serving me Crown Royal apple tonight. Had to throw in a shot of vodka to make it drinkable. Oh, God. Oh, Crown Royal apple. My goodness. I've never tried that stuff, and I cringe at just the idea of trying it. Jason Coates says Springbank 15 is in my glass as we speak. Nice. Catnap says I'm also really looking forward to the Glenmorangie 14. Oh, okay. So are we talking about the Quinta Rubin 14? Springbank 15 is gorgeous stuff, says Shelter Point. Yeah, I liked it when I had it. It's been about 4 years. It was nice. The Glenmorangie 14 is just, we're talking about the Quinta Rubin. But apparently they're reusing the casks. So the Quinta Rubin 14 is not necessarily going to be as good as the Quinta Rubin 12 used to be because they're reusing the port casks. Catnap says to Jason Coates, please do tell what are your thoughts on the 15, especially compared to the 10. Okay. Jason says blends back then were way higher on the quality spectrum than they are now. I have a small collection of 70s blends, and they are really incredible. Well, there you go. Malty says, which Secret Spirits dram didn't you like? Well, you'll find out if you watch my videos of the Secret Spirits. The video hasn't gone live yet, so I can't really say. But because I'm ahead of everyone when it comes to that, right? That's a hint, I hope. Catnap. Wait. Whiskey in Kiev. Food Quig, happy New Year's Eve. Wait a minute. These things are moving faster than I can. Jason Coates says to Catnap G, honestly, I prefer the 10. The 15 is good, but it's all sherry. And I think the more bourbon cask, he likes more bourbon cask in a Springbank. Okay. Whiskey in Kiev, Food Quig. New Year's Eve is coming. Any plans to celebrate it? No, I'll be at work. I don't have a plan for New Year's Eve, except that I'll be at work. Sherried Springbanks do have the great complex strawberry jam. Note that always works for me, says Jason Coates. Catnap G says, the mainstream whiskey drinker will think we are elitist and a pretentious bunch because we are critical of whiskey and we mostly talk about single malts. Such isn't in their domain. Okay. Oh, Martin Calmer, thank you for sending chat or a super chat. Quig, these live chats are very fine. Thank you very much. I'm just responding to people's comments, and they're coming in quicker and quicker right now. Everybody's really excited about stuff going on. Taylor Saber says, I wasn't mad at the Cuddy, I guess. Just thought it was an interesting choice at Whiskey Sneerson. I feel your pain. Catnap says to Jason Coates, I sure hope my palate approves. Okay, we've had some retracted messages. Okay. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Retracted messages. Okay, to hell with them. I'm sure I will. Mine's nothing special, just about practice and paying attention, says Jason Coates. Taylor Saver says, also, Craig, I appreciate it. Thank you. You appreciate me. I appreciate that too. Fantastic. Thank you. Catnap says, first whiskey I ever tried was Crown Royal, and it let me not trying whiskey again for years. Removed my message because I made too many typos. Thanks to your friend autocorrect. Okay, great. Sneerson says at Martin Calmer, you demand. Shelter Point, the dirtier the Springbank, the better. Some of the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society bottlings were incredible, like Cowboy's Delight and To the Manor Born. I haven't tried either of those. I'm not a member, unfortunately. I might be a member someday soon. I don't know. We'll see. Jason says at Catnap, my first whiskey was Jack Daniels and put me off whiskey for 15 years. I completely understand. Okay. KGG says, reviewing the Isla question, Octomore 10.1 thoughts. I'm not big on Octomores. They just cost too much. Whiskey Sneerson says, all the Springbank talk, I think I will have to pour a 12-year-old cast strength. That's one I've never tried yet. Springbank is kind of rare around here. Excuse me. Catnap says to Jason Coates, ha ha ha, yes. Years later, and we still can't get that taste out of our mouths. Whiskey Throttle is saying hello. Oh my, we got everybody coming in now. Catnap says, Whiskey Sneerson, don't mention the 12. I had the chance to buy it and missed it. Whiskey Throttle says, how far behind in the chat is Food Quig? Not too bad. A few minutes. Shelter Point, oh man, I've only seen 2 Springbanks in the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society since I've been a member, and they were pricey. I'd love to grab one at some point, says Jason Coates. Hey, Daniel, he's only like 30 seconds behind right now. Whiskey Throttle says, thanks, Jason Coates. Okay, hey, Whiskey Throttle, says Whiskey Sneerson. Everybody's got whiskey in their name. I should be Whiskey Food Quick. I remember finishing my bottle of Famous Grouse, and it left me feeling sick. I think I'm allergic to green grain whiskey. I don't know, maybe. Whiskey Throttle says, Whiskey Sneerson, how are you? And KGG says, Quig, what shall we have for the next dram of the night? Oh, I don't know. I'll have to check on that. And I'm caught up. I'm up to date. And that's to answer you, Whiskey Throttle. I'm up to date. I need another glass of water. I'll have to pour something else, won't I? Let me put these away. Got our shelter point and our 41-year-old Canadian club. I'll put those away. Yeah. Whoa. Oh, wow. I also need some water. And I also got to piss, so I'll be right back. Oh, yeah. All this whiskey has made me hungry. It's been about 6 or 7 hours since I had a bite to eat. And so I just warmed up some leftover pizza. So I got some pizza going on. I got some water going on. I had a piss. Where are we now? Oh, now I'm behind. Now I'm behind. I'm really behind on the chat. We got 20 people watching. Okay, famous grouse. What's next, Quig? Oh, what shall we have for the next dram? And Whiskey Throttle is asking, when are you coming to visit Alberta? I should do that, shouldn't I? I don't have any immediate plans, but I should do that. Taylor is asking, what's next, Quig? KGG says to Catnap, I get that from Doers White. Catnap says, I sure hope you like the Bunnahabhain 18. It'll be your first 18 you'd like. Plus, Bunnahabhain is a real pleaser. Yeah, I like Bunnahabhain so far. I haven't had a bad one. In fact, the Bunnahabhain distillery was one of my favorite distillery visits when I went to Scotland. Crap, he caught up. That's like the bus dropping below 50 miles an hour. We are doing great here at Whiskey Throttle. Hope everyone is having a good night. Yeah, we're doing good. Yeah. Catnap says, does this mean we can be friends after all? To KGG. Mm. Hmm. Whiskey Throttle says, guess I will pour the new Glenallachie 12, 15-year-old. I haven't had that yet. Martin Calmer is asking, like everyone else, is the wall starting to lean? No. It's perfectly straight. Lean, yes. Starting, no. Whiskey Throttle says, laughing out loud, what food are you heating up for us? Leftover pizza. Mm. Taylor says to Martin, I've been thinking it was for a while. Quig says it's the camera angle, but I'm skeptical. Yeah, it leans a little bit, but I made an effort to save it and straighten it up by putting a couple of wedges in there. And so that side is straight up and down. But there are some wedges in there. Yeah, it does lean a little bit, but it's not going to fall over. Ah. Food Quick, just look for the comments your name is highlighted in. Any pizza pairs best with anything? I find if I eat, I can't really enjoy whiskey. Really? Whiskey Throttle says at Whiskey Sneerson, still getting trolls, I see. I haven't noticed any trolls for a while here. Catnap G says the Bunnahabhain 12 could have been great if it had more complexity to it. That's a good whiskey as it is. Throttle says to Foodquig, looks chewy for pizza. Yep, it is. It was a Delicio Deluxe or something like that. I had it last night. I had half the pizza and half was left over for tonight. I had my breakfast at 4 in the afternoon, so there you go. I'm still awake. Last night I was on Google Hangouts with a dear friend of mine who was able to help me get my iTunes working again. Because I downloaded the latest software a couple months ago or so from Apple. And they totally messed up my iTunes. It didn't work properly anymore. I'm telling you to, if you have a lot of iTunes, and you have a big library of iTunes, it's going to totally mess up if you have downloaded Catalina. That's a Mac thing. And I was pointed out how to download and make work again iTunes on Catalina, and it works great now. I can choose any song I want and it'll play. That's what I want. Is there a point to unpeated Islas? Some of them are good. I like some from Kalila that are good, and Bunnahabhain makes a nice whiskey. There are some phenomenal unpeated Islas, says Jason Coates. Yes, there are. I concur. Taylor Saver. Uh-oh, it jumped. There are some, phenomenal unpeated Islas. Yes, I agree. Taylor Saver says, as long as it doesn't fall over, I'm happy. And if it did, I would rebuild it before you'd see it again. Catnap G says, Quig, you're giving us a new camera view right now. I'm digging it. Oh, you moved it back. Oh, fuck. All right. There you go. Whiskey and Kiev, Foodquig. Have you ever tried Kilkerran heavily peated? Yes. I was the first to review it ever. I just got a bottle and I'm struggling with it. Smells like old cheese. I liked it when I tried it down at Milroy's in London. But don't forget, I had a lot of other whiskeys to drink that night. You are making me hungry, says Catnap G. Yep. Great. Now I want pizza. There goes my diet. Diet? What's that? Whiskey Throttle says at Foodquig, it better not. I just updated. You just updated to Catalina? Oh, fuck. You're in for a pleasant ride. And that's especially true if your iTunes library is larger than your startup drive. And if you have your iTunes music on an external drive, oh, what fun you will have. Catnap says, Quig just noticed you're heading towards 10K subs. Are you going to do something celebrity for it? Be it online or offline, maybe buy special whiskey. I don't know. I don't think so. It's just a number after all. $10,000 subs, 1,000 subs. It's just a number. Oh, by the way, Quig, that comment about your camera angle was delayed. I'm perfectly happy with your original camera angle. Whatever. It's all good. Man, that happy emoticon is somewhat effeminate. Whiskey and a beard. What are we unpacking today? Oh, it's been unpacked already. You may want to go back to the beginning of the stream. For those who just joined, Project Alpha from Whiskey Whistle from Winnipeg, Mark Whiskey Whistle in Winnipeg sent me the Project Alpha and the Project Beta, and I tasted them already. I'm not going to do that again. He also sent me the 18th release from two brewers up in the Yukon in Whitehorse. He also sent me Mark 1 blend, waxy fruit, 47%. This is another one of his. And that's what I opened. And I tasted these guys here, the Project Alpha and Project Beta, which are quite interesting little things. Okay. Whiskey Throttle says, at Kijiji, really the only reason I have, it's easier to read it this way. Are known for the peat. Isla, known for the peat, was the main source of energy century or more ago, used to heat houses, cook food, etc. Peated whiskey was just because it is. That is what? Okay. Kelly Coleman says, I don't drink whiskey. I just watch your videos because they relax me and help me fall asleep. So in a way, you drinking whiskey relaxes me. Haha. I saw your comment on earlier um, when you subscribed, and thank you very much. Whiskey Throttle says was available. Now it is a lot of marketing. Okay. Whiskey in a Beard says good evening, by the way. Yeah, good evening. Whiskey Throttle says Whiskey in a Beard, hello, sir. And Taylor Saver says, ever had Kilchoman CF12? About to pour a dram. CF12, I don't know. For me, it's good morning, says Whiskey in a Beard. It's almost morning. It's 2 minutes to morning right now. For me, it's good morning. Okay, Whiskey Throttle says, Whiskey in a Beard, good question. What was the unpacking? Whiskey in a Beard says, Whiskey Throttle, hello to you, sir. Okay. Throttle says, can you just tell us what? Tell you what? Cask finish, says Taylor Saber. Hoagie Bear at Food Quig. Good morning, sir, Mr. Quig. How are you doing? I'm doing fine. What I opened was a package from Mark Whiskey Whistle, who lives in Winnipeg. He sent me his Mark 1 blend, waxy fruit. He sent me a sample from two brewers up in the Yukon, release number 18. And his Project Alpha and Project Beta, this is like a choke cherry wine that was aged in an oak barrel or a miniature barrel. And then Project Beta, which was also aged in the oak barrel, is going for high oak, something like that. That's what I think that's what I told you. Okay. Mr. Anukhnak, good morning. We got the European contingent coming in here. 8 a.m. here in Ireland. Okay. Whiskey Throttle says the Food Quig, you're just catching up, laughing up. Yeah, I catch up and then I lose it and then I catch up again. Whiskey Sneerson says, hello, Hoagie. Whiskey Beard, okay. Hoagie Bear says, hello. And Whiskey Sneerson. Sneerson says, top of the morning to you. Anukhnak. Hey, Hoagie, says Jason. And Shelter Point says, thanks, Quig, for a great live chat tonight. Signing off from the Whiskey Land. Yes, I agree. I'm about to sign off too. I'm getting tired. Next drama of the night. Really, Kijiji? Oh, Jesus. You too, Mr. Sneerson, says Anukhnak. Jason Coates says, cheers at Shelter Point. Always fun to have makers here in the chat. Absolutely. It was great. Thank you very much for joining us. Oh, that is still some of that stuff from Mark. Another bit of pizza. Yes, Quig, next dram. Okay. I'll have to think about that one for a moment. One more for the road. All right. Two slices of pizza. I was hungry, okay? Hmm. We have Hoagie Bear saying, Teeling recently released a whiskey with chestnut cask finish. Could be interesting, but I don't know about availability. Perhaps already a unicorn. Could be. Catnap says Lagavulin 16 tastes like a richer, more refined, though subtle, Lacheg 10. Quig, off the wall question. Do you think time travel will ever be possible? Well, now we're getting into science fiction. Well, I'll tell you what, time travel is possible and it's always happening, but we're traveling one way. Let me ponder this a moment and get some more water and think what I'm going to pour for that last one for the road. Just a moment. I gotta have my third slice of pizza. I also gotta take my pill. I gotta take pills. Yeah. Okay. All right. I took my pill or my pills, which I should take with food. I warmed up a third slice of pizza because that's all I got left over. And I will think about what to drink next. I quig exactly my thoughts. If I drink enough, I travel forward through time. Yes, you do. Exactly. Huzzah to the third slice. Yes. Drink enough and you can time travel easily, but also enjoy what you drink. Quig's choice for last dram. Let's all follow suit. Okay. Kelly Coleman, would you ever review a THC infused whiskey? Is there a such thing? If there is a such thing, I might Try it. I don't know. Whiskey Throttle. If you're traveling in a taxi at the speed of light and turn the headlights on, will it make a difference? Well, it would be shifted to the blue end of the spectrum, wouldn't it? Think about that. But that would be a relativity thing, wouldn't it? If I'm traveling through time, well, I would have had the lights on already because it's at night, right? And yeah, they would definitely be shifted to the blue end of the spectrum. The headlights, that is. I guess they'd be shifted so much to the blue end that I wouldn't see them at all. So I guess it would not make a difference. You know I like science fiction, don't you? Wow. Third slice of pizza. Here we go. It's still hot. It's hotter than if you put 2 slices in and put it on the pizza setting, it's perfect. But if you put a third one in separately afterwards, it's too hot. So it's got to cool down a little bit. Would still measure the light between racing away from your car at 186,000 miles per second. But if you're already going at the speed of light, you're catching up to the light that's being emanated by your high beams. So you're catching up to the light. You're traveling at the same speed as the light that's going from your headlights. So you wouldn't see anything. So what's our last dram? Sneerson's having Alberta Premium Cast Strength. I haven't opened that yet. No, light speeds don't add up. That's right. They do not. They do not. Here I am picking up my pizza and thinking what to drink next. Oh, I know. It's something you can't have because I have the only one there is. This one here is the Quig Isla Infinity. And I have the only one there is. Unless did I send a copy of that to Catnap? But the copy I sent to Catnap, if I did send a copy to Catnap, is an earlier version of this. This is the Quig Isla Infinity. That's going to be my last round. No light speeds don't add up. Okay. Just finished my Springbank 15. Not sure what's next, says Jason Coates. Maybe something light. Always nice to end with something peaty. There you go. Because laughing out loud. Taylor Saber says, damn it, Quig, not fair. Whiskey Throttle says, I sent you my email address. I need your information to send you some whiskey at FoodQuig. Okay. Did you send Here's my email address, foodquig@shaw.ca. And if you send me a message to uh, okay, need my information to send you some whiskey. Oh, okay, fine. I will send you my coordinates if you have sent me an email to my email address, something like that. We'll work it out. We'll don't unicorn us, Quig. I'm sorry I had to. Uh, at Whiskey Sneerson, how do you like it? Okay. Everybody into their infinity bottles for the next dram. Damn. Okay. Catnap G says, I started something with this time travel question for better or worse. Started. Okay. Done. Infinity bottle poured. Okay. At FoodQuig in Messenger. Okay. I'll look at Messenger after I've done this whole thing and I'll work something out. Hmm. Hmm. This is good. Hoagie Bear says to Jason Coates, the logical thing would be Springback 16. And Catnap G says, now you're having an infinity bottle on the topic of science fiction. Do infinity bottles count? Of course they do. They go to infinity. Mm. I'm sure this version of the infinity bottle is just as excellent as the last, only with a twist. Mm. Sneerson says, I love the new releases from Alberta Premium Whiskey Throttle. So glad they finally released some limited editions. I bought a case of each. Whoa! I bought a bottle of each and I haven't opened them yet. Fantastic. Way to go, Sneerson. My hero. Catnap says, anyways, I must be headed to bed. It is extremely late here. Good night, all. It was a fun live stream. Well, thank you. Night at Catnap G. Yes, absolutely. TGG says, kudos to FoodQuig for still nosing his whiskey this late in the stream. Well, yeah. You kind of got it, don't you? Especially when it's got things like MCO1 Port Charlotte in it. Mm. Oh, this is good. So good. Okay, Hoagie says at Catnap G, luckily you can add up infinities. There's a whole file of mathematics calculating with infinities. Jason Coates says, had a friend a couple of decades ago who was working with infinity as part of the PhD in mathematics. He was finishing up some fascinating conversations. Kijiji at Catnap G, good night. 3:15 p.m. here too, but worth staying up late. Well, it's the weekend, right? If nobody has to work on Sunday, that's good. I'll be working, but only on Sunday night. Good night, catnap. Okay. Whiskey Throttle says to Whiskey Sneerson, that is awesome. I don't recommend trying the cast strength beside the 20-year-old. They are both good, but 20-year-old seems to have lost the rye spiciness. Okay, well, like I said, I haven't tried them yet, so you would expect that to happen, just like, a Lafroig 18 would not have as much peat as a Lafroig 10. Mm. You can expect the 20-year-old to be gentler. KGG says to Foodquig, is that a TARDIS off camera? On a serious note, have you tried Lafroig 8? Lafroig 8. No. Is that one of those Game of Thrones bottlings? Hmm. I've had the Lagavulin 8, but not the Lafroig 8. Sneerson says to Throttle, someone suggested blending them 1-to-1, and that is hell of a blend. I do love them individually as well. Oh, we're talking about the Alberta Premium cast strength and 20-year-old. That is a good idea, says Whiskey Throttle to Whiskey Sneerson. And Kelly Coleman says, going to head over and watch some of your old videos to relax and sleep. 2:19 a.m. here in Texas. Okay, well, cool, Kelly. It was nice to have you with us, and pleasant dreams. Whiskey Throttle says to KGG, do you mean Talisker 8? And Sneerson says, let it open up for an hour or so. So good. Or Lagavulin 8. Sorry, Lagavulin 8. 8 was the limited bottling that was then more widely released, but not the Game of Thrones bottling. It is very good. Yeah, sorry meant Lagavulin 8. Yes, I had that when it was a 200-year 200-year commemorative anniversary edition of Lagavulin. It was 8 years old, and it was their 200th anniversary Lagavulin. Yeah, I've had that. My video should still be up about that one. Oh. Oh. It has a hug. It is strong. This is my Isla Infinity. I'm going to have to start a new Isla Infinity. I will take half of this Isla Infinity and put it in another bottle. Then I will have 2 Isla Infinities, because I've got enough Isla whiskey coming up in the near future that it's going to fill up this bottle and another one with Isla Infinity, because I take 1 dram from each bottle that I pour. It's going to be good. So I have to start another Isla Infinity, put half of this one in the other one, and then fill them up as I go. I've done the same with Canadian Infinity. I have 2 Canadian Infinities now because there's just so much of it. Lagavulin 8, yes. Okay. Okay, haven't tried the Lag 8, says Jason Coates, but yeah, it's part of the core range now. Yeah, it wasn't the core range when I first tried it, but now it is. Taylor Saber says it's tasty. Whiskey Throttle says KGG 24. Oh, yes, I had it 2 years ago. Will be working in Moose Jaw. Very good. Okay. KGG says, what was a horse-worthy UGG or the Isla Infinity bottle there? That was a horse-worthy UGG for the Isla Infinity bottle there, Quig. Okay. Looking forward to those new Isla reviews. Oh, yeah, there will be some. Agreed. Lag 8, my fave bottling from them so far. Really? Have you tried the 12? Love the 12, says Jason Coates. Yeah, me too. I love the 12 a lot. I have 3 versions of the 12 that I'm going to be tasting. I tasted the 2015. I have the 2017, the 2014, and the 2016. 2018 would probably show up on shelves pretty soon around here. We shall see. Whiskey Throttle says to KGG, not sure the version in their core range is the same 8-year though. Well, I had the, okay. So it's 8 years old, but it's not the same. It may not be the same as the core range, and the 200-year anniversary might not be the same. That's possible. It's just like with the advent calendar. There was a Lecheg 10 in the advent calendar, and it was phenomenal. I thought it was Lefroy. But then we came to the end of it, and I happened to have some Lecheg 10 hanging around, the official bottling from the distillery. And so I tried them side by side. The Lecheg 10 from Secret Spirits and the Lecheg 10 official bottling. And it was not the same because the Lecheg 10 from Secret Spirits was a single cask. And that single cask was a phenomenal cask. It was probably the best cask of 10-year-old Lecheg that there was available anywhere. And it was about 15 times as good as the regular Lecheg 10, which I like a lot. That's telling you right there. Caleb says, the 12 is great, but I can't find it anymore where I am. Yeah. We got plenty of it here. Like I said, I got 3 bottles of it, but different years. The 2014, the 2016, and 2017. KGG says, have not tried the 12 yet. Did you think it was better than the 8? Oh, there is no comparison. There is no comparison between the Lagavulin 8 and a 12. No comparison. Jason Coates says to Whiskey Throttle, Well, no, will be a different batch than the anniversary bottling, obviously. Um, I have no idea how similar they may be. Okay, so the different batches, there could be some batch variation, and we're talking about Lagavulin 10 or 8. Yeah, it's possible at Food Creek. So the Lecheg 10 is still a good bottle. I don't have access to that independent bottling, sadly. No, it's part of the whiskey Scotch whiskey Advent calendar from Secret Spirits. That will be you wouldn't have access to that unless you have the the calendar, or unless Secret Spirits has some bottles laying around and they would sell them to you. Mm. And Jason Coates says, "Oh, nice. I have two 2017s and a 2016." Yeah, great. I've also had the 2015. So I have the 2015. I've had, it's gone. And the 14, the 17, and the 16. So that's good. I'll be tasting them in the future, in the new year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of good whiskey out there. Wow. We've been going for over 3 hours. That's pretty good. I didn't think I would go for 3 hours, that is. New decade. Oh, yes, it will be a new decade. Ah. Can you get done vegan in BC? It's an interesting Isla independent bottling. I've never seen done vegan. Nope. Done vegan is not one that I have seen. Did your audio drop? Well, it seems to be still up here. Maybe I'm not talking as loud as I did before. It should work. I don't know. Is my sound still okay? Can you hear me? I don't know. I can hear you, says Whiskey Throttle. Very good. So my audio did not drop. It's still working. Maybe I didn't talk as loud as I did before. That's possible. Wow. 3 hours and 14 minutes. Yeah, still got 14 people watching, and I've had a fair amount to drink. I've almost finished my pizza. Mm. Bedtime, says Whiskey Throttle. Maybe. Well, I seem to have lost audio. Thanks for a great chat at Foodquig and everybody. Well, thank you, Kijiji. Since you can't hear me. Since you can't hear me, I'll just put that on there. Mm-hmm. Caleb says, thoughts on Glenfiddich 14. Ridiculously cheap near me, but not sure. I have bought a bottle of Glenfiddich 14, but I haven't opened it yet, so I don't know. I don't know my thoughts on it. But if I recall, it's at 43%, and it's aged in or finished in some kind of interesting cask. Hold on, let me see. This one here. This one here. Yeah, I have not opened it yet. It's 14 years, and there's a lot of writing on here, and bourbon barrel reserve. So there's no sherry in it. It's bourbon, 100%. 14 years old. I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know. But I do have a bottle of it, and thoughts will be coming eventually when I open it. Whiskey Throttle says to me, we'll have to do a show together soon. Yeah. We will. Only trouble is, technically, I don't know how to do that. You have to use some other YouTube client. It's not like it used to be where you could just do it and invite people in with Google Hangouts. I don't know how that works now. Yeah, it would appear that the 14 is the bourbon wood release. Caleb says, looks right. I'll probably just end up picking it up because of the price, okay? Throttle says, we will learn and make it happen. Yeah, for sure. I have to learn as well. But you know, it's so easy to just go on alone now. You just go click, click, and boom, you're on. But yeah, we'll have to figure that out. The Jade Experience says, we just saw a meme on YouTube about your video reviewing scotch with your ex moving out. You're a funny man. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jade Experience. That's the biggest video I ever made. It's got like over 1.5 million views. And Jason Coates says, I hear mostly positive things about the 14. Never had it myself. No, I have it here, but I haven't opened it yet. Like so many bottles, I've got about 100 bottles that I haven't opened yet. So I will get to it, in due time. After I'm done with the whiskey advent calendar, once I'm done with the Scotch whiskey advent calendar, I plan to put out 3 videos a week of bottles that I'm opening up. And 1 video a week of special things like opening samples and trying samples. But that will be 1 video a week. I'm going to do 3 a week of opening different bottles that I happen to have here. So that should be interesting. I will enjoy doing that, opening 3 bottles a week and opening 1 sample on a weekend. Wow. I hear mostly positive. Okay. John Kingsley says, I know you enjoy rye. You should try the Old Forester rye. It is amazing bang for the buck. And the problem with American whiskeys is that they are hard to get here on Vancouver Island, and the availability is not always there. I mean, I've had Old Forester, but not the rye. I've never seen. I don't believe I've seen the rye ever around here. So a lot of the problem why I haven't reviewed or haven't tried a lot of whiskeys is because I just can't get them here. It may be a bang for the buck, in the States. Old Forester rye. If I do come across a bottle, I will definitely buy it. And Jason Coates says, I hear you. 40 open bottles, 150 in the backlog. Yeah, yeah. There you go. Sounds good. Jade Experience says, have a GN. DJ 11. Holy sheesh, the Quig's still on? Yeah. And John Kingsley will send me some Old Forester rye. Fantastic. So, yeah, I'll put on my email address and we can work things out. Yeah, send me some email to foodquig@shaw.ca, and we'll work out our coordinates and details and addresses and stuff like that. Okay. Good call on that rye, a good one, as well as the 1920 bourbon. Oh, have I got some of that? I have some kind of year bourbon somewhere. 1920 is fantastic, says Jason Coates. And John Kingsley says, you bet. Okay, good. So I will go through my email tomorrow probably and work out everything with everyone who wants to send me things and so on. That's great. We also have super chats, but whatever. And there's also a Patreon page. You can support me on Patreon if you can't send me samples. And if you find that, my channel is worth watching, I can always use a little bit of money to help me buy whiskey. Just one of those things. I've got 15 people watching right now, but I'm kind of running out of steam, and I've caught up with the comments and with the chat. So I think I've just about had it right now. I may pour myself another dram and watch some videos from other people who have been on YouTube and see what they have to say. John Kingsley says, you're the best. Well, thank you very much, John. It's nice to have you with us. And I'm going to call it quits right about here.